Good morning, everyone. It's Kimberly. Welcome back, and I have your next video for the messages from the Masters series. This is my Sunday morning series that I sit down and I channel the Ascended Masters um, and the Archangels, and we just call in the higher guidance from those who are overseeing the Twin Flame Collective to just kind of get the higher messages. If you haven't watched this before, I do automatic writing, and then I usually segue over to a card reading mixed with channeling and all of that. So I'm going to try not to use my earbuds today just because I think sometimes my voice or my vocal range or my volume goes in and out with that. So hopefully this will be more even. Hopefully you can hear me okay. So we're going through right now. So today is actually it's June 1st. Yeah. So I'm making this video on Saturday. It takes me a while to post these just because I do them from my phone. So I have to sometimes do them ahead of time, but this will be posted by Sunday. So we are right up here on the cusp of the new moon. We are still letting go of things right now, like from the past. There's a lot of like in my recent videos I was talking about like closure and healing old timelines and resolving past heartaches, and some of you it won't be literal closure that you're receiving, but it's going to be more like a revisiting of the past so that you can heal old wounds. And this is really happening just so that we can look forward and look to the future. So let's just, with that notion in mind of what's happening energetically in the collective, and knowing that we're clearing space to welcome in like the new, the unexpected, and all of these really amazing future timelines. What do the guides need to tell us about that, and how, what do we need to know at this time, and how can we manage and navigate these waters better? So I'll start with the automatic writing. I never know what's going to come. I just kind of, I guess today we just set an intention, so let's just see. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna hold this up. I'm gonna try to go a little further away so you guys can see. Okay, so they're showing me, they said mountain range, and I guess it came out as two mountains. I feel like this is water. They're saying water is the Great Divide, but I feel like these are cracks in, where air and light sort of seep through these mountains. And I feel like they're trying to say it doesn't matter if you're on your way up or on your way down. If you're ready to dive deep into the emotional waters, either way, there's always cracks. There's always light coming through whatever part of the journey that you're on, is what I feel. That's how they're trying to tell us. Like, there's always going to be cracks where no matter how tough the climb is, no matter how deep the plummet is into the emotional waters, which are the Great Divide between our higher consciousness and our grounded earthliness, there's always like these little cracks that provide light along the way. And I feel like what they're saying is like, find the opportunity to expand that light in those cracks, and to also understand that, water might even, emotion, it's okay to have the water or emotion kind of stream in as well, to seep in. Because this is where I feel like all of the healing. They're trying to show us, like, this is where the healing is done. This is how we find light, no matter what stage of the journey that we're in. I also feel like what they're saying is we might be at this point right now, right? Where we have, it's not even just like surmounting or like climbing a mountain and, you know, getting to the other side, but it's like we're at this point where we've gone into these emotional waters, or we're going into these emotional waters, and we're like, well, how do we get out of this? We're swimming in here. How do we get that to up here? And if this is the pinnacle or the new life, let's just say, and I feel like they're just saying use the light. Like, let the light guide you. Let the light guide you. There's nothing more. You don't need to know how you're gonna like get out of this water and climb up the rest of this mountain. It's not really a mountain to climb, but I do feel like there is a pinnacle, and the pinnacle is like that new life. It's all the dreams come true. It's the 5D timelines anchoring in. It's this higher consciousness. This is a new reality over here. There's a new landscape over here. And so what does that landscape look like? Let's, every damn time I forget to bring an eraser or tissue. Okay. So when we get to the other side, what does the new landscape look like? What do we need to know about that? Okay, so they're showing me like a tree. Just like a tree. A very, very, very large tree. Okay, so a very, very large tree. There's the branches. And here's sort of the umbrella of the branches and the leaves. They're saying everything else you fill in. This is kind of your growth. You've created roots. You've healed at the root. You've created the roots. You are creating this, what they keep calling this, an umbrella. This is like an umbrella. So you've created this ability to understand, to be connected to the higher realms, to bridge. It's it's a protection. This is like your safety within. It's a protective mechanism. But I feel like what they're saying is like we're finding a way to be up here and down there all at once. So in a very rooted and grounded way, which is what we've been working on for a while. And I know that I've been trying to articulate that with the reason why I rebranded and created Spiritual Material Girl. It's like, because we are being called to integrate our world. So we're being called to master that 5D connection and raise our consciousness while we still are here making an impact on earth and being grounded and in our earthly material lives. So this feels like once you have this established within yourself, they keep showing me like grasses, little mushrooms, I feel, and that's not really a mushroom, but and little houses, and whatever you want, whatever you want in this landscape. You could put a lake and more trees. You decide what goes here. But they're saying it comes from this firm foundation from within you. And that it's really a mastery, like self-mastery is really just a mastery of how can you keep your feet on the ground and have this connection to the higher realms. I also get this is coming up as like a wound that's up for the collective, feeling safe, secure, and protected from within, finding that safety, security, protection from within you. A lot of the core wounding can actually separate us from that feeling or from that knowing. And a lot of you are working on that lesson right now on how to reconnect with that feeling of how do I self-support? How do I rely on myself? How do I feel independence? And how do I not feel like things are going to, like, how do I not feel lack? How do I not feel like things are going to get ripped out, from under me? How do I feel like I can take a risk and, and not lose everything? So a lot of this goes back to the childhood wounding, and I feel like that goes right to the root. So you guys know I do this with my clients in soul coaching. If anyone's worked with me in soul coaching and wants to comment below, like just tell other people like how progressive it is, and if it's helped you, it would be good to share just so people understand, because I don't know if everyone understands how progressive it is. It's hard to just, it's hard to just look at testimonials and be like, okay, yeah, that's something I want to do. But so we go deep, and that wound, so this wound is often a product of, I'm not channeling this, I'm just telling you guys, this is often a product of when we have a really rigid or cold family, emotionless, when we feel very rejected, could be from abandonment, being left, seeing like a struggling parent growing up, having just like the lack mentality or the lack programming in a family, even being told we're not good enough. So that's something that's coming up for the collective to heal, okay? And they're saying when you heal it, there's a better establishment in this new phase. The ability to create anything in you as the firm foundation. And that doesn't mean that you have to sacrifice your connection to the higher realms. It means actually that by healing that wound, you create a better connection. It also, that wound separates us from like trusting, like really trusting our inner knowing, and trusting that safety is within and security is within. And the truth is it is. Nothing can take it away from us except for our fears. So this could also be coming up because this is we're moving into a very abundant time. So with this abundance on the forefront, this wild manifestation power, which I keep saying is happening so rapidly, I feel like that's why they're prompting us to heal this wound so that we can trust, so that we can take risks, so that we can trust and create more rather than holding back from fear. And so that's why it's coming up. Something else is coming through. Just give me a minute, because it's like vague right now. They're saying timber. Timber, like when a tree falls. Isn't that what they say when a tree falls in the forest? Or when someone's cutting down a tree? All right, so that's what it is. They're saying to build the new tree, you might need to you might need to cut down the old one. You might need to let that one fall and resurrect a new one. I just heard timber like crazy. It just came out of nowhere. So that tree might need to fall, and you might need to resurrect a new one. And you might be thinking, well, how do I, if that tree is the old me or the old paradigm, how the heck am I going to resurrect a new one and start manifesting that quick? It's not going to grow that fast. But they're saying it can grow instantaneously. It's just a matter of your perception. There is no lag time. There is no wait time in manifestation. It's just we create it with the non-belief, the disbelief, the doubting, the fear, the resistance. So basically, you let that other tree fall. You let that old paradigm fall away. You let what's not serving you go. You let the heartaches go. You let all that stuff go. Or you let the shaky foundation go, and you decide to build anew in a more firm way with you as the basis of your foundation. Okay? This is standing on your own 2 feet. This is safety, security, protection from within. This is connection to your solar plexus, your true power, the trusting, the knowing. You can resurrect that right now. It's just all you have to do is draw the new picture and just see yourself in it. A lot of us have been working on this energetically. So I also feel like when they're saying timber, like they're saying, you can take that, there's a transmutation. You take that old wood and chop it up and build your house. You know what I mean? Like take that old tree, that old model, chop up that wood and build your new house. Okay? Like this is going to come from those logs or that wood. This is the new house. Okay? And this house can be bigger and better. And, this is like, this is transmuting. This is where we take the old and we make it new. We create something new. I feel like the creativity is so heightened. Even for me, just yesterday, I got a prompt to revisit an old project. Something that I felt like was dead, had died, or was shelved. A creative project or a path. It was like a creative path. And I am getting very clear signs to revisit it. If that happens to you, open your mind to it, open your heart to it. Things that you maybe thought were dead or just, it maybe wasn't time before. You don't be surprised if you like old projects, get revitalized, or maybe it's time now. Like the right person might come in to lift it off the ground or to help you with it. You might be in a better place for it energetically with the shift in consciousness and all the healing and work that you've done. So definitely there's a heightened, creative energy. And it's up to us if we want to maximize on that. This is because of all the light pouring in, and I feel like the sun is the central giver of this, okay? They're saying you decide how you use it. They're saying it starts here with the inspiration or the little nudges or the signs from the universe, but you decide if you want it to expand, if you want to expand it out into the universe and get it out where maybe it's even, where other people can access it. Meaning you're sharing your gifts, you're sharing your talents, you're sharing it with the world. Or do you want to just keep it right here and doubt it and, keep it to yourself? This would be a time to bring things into life. Also, I want to say that like with creative projects, a lot of people are going to be capitalizing on this energy, and because everything is connected so much, we're all in a web. And if you even have a fleeting thought, it's like about doing something. If you don't do it, somebody else will. So it's not about a race or competition. It just means like, don't let those things go to waste. Don't let that energy go to waste. Don't let those ideas go to waste. Don't doubt yourself. Let's see specifically for twin flames. What about the love relationships with twin flames? I'm gonna take a sip of coffee, you guys. It's early in the morning. So twin flame relationships, we just saw a lot about your individual path and what you're working on. What about the twins? They're just showing me this rainbow. It's not an arc rainbow. This is like it's like a rainbow ray. It's like a rainbow ray, ray of light. They're talking about connecting 2 points. Intersecting the rainbow, or even it could be the 2 points being here and the rainbow intersecting. They're saying the word fertility. So some of you, excuse me, might be like questioning timelines because, well, firstly, these are our creative projects. This is our creative inspiration. This is about birthing the new life. This is about riding that creative wave, building something new, looking towards the future, birthing your creative projects and all of that. But I also think that the word fertility is up for some people in the collective, and you're literally thinking about your fertility. You're thinking about the potential of kids in this lifetime, the potential of not children in this lifetime. You're thinking, is it going to happen with my twin flame? Or maybe you're thinking about kids that have already been brought in the world and how that connects in with your twin flame or doesn't. They keep just showing me the chromosomes. So like, I think girl and boy, right? So female and male. So that's kind of why they showed this intersecting. They're saying anything is possible. Like, even with some of you, you're going to have babies over the next year or two. There's lots of like rainbow magic. All it is just 2 points merging. It's just 2 points merging, basically. And we make it so much harder than it needs to be, is what I feel like they're saying. They're saying let the magic in. I feel like this is also really important at this time. Like, one of the reasons why they're bringing this up to us is because the past has been heavy, whether it's with your twin flame or through karmic lessons. Like, we've got some past that we're pulling into the future that doesn't serve the future. It's not letting the magic in. And this is a reminder, like, let go of the past. The past is not in front of us. The past is behind us. The past does not determine the future. Be careful about where you're bringing resentments and, the notion of, well, this happened in the past, therefore it's going to happen again. That's not true. I do feel like with the twins, for some twins, it is going to be like a rebuild of trust when you unite. It could also be that you're meeting your true twin flame and you might have your guards up. You might have to learn how to trust. They're definitely showing me the Fool, like the Fool card. Like going in with like almost virgin eyes, and this sort of, it's almost like the naivety would serve us right now. So yeah, that's really important. Let's go over to the cards and let's get some messages there. So I think I'm going to grab the Ascension deck too. I feel good to do that. I'll be right back. So today we are using the Ascended Masters deck, the Archangels deck. We're going to use the Good Tarot deck and this Ascension deck by Diana Cooper. Okay. So I'm just going to shuffle, and while I shuffle, I'll talk to you about a message I got. So I've been receiving that all timelines will merge into one. And I think that that's been so powerful. I've been sitting with it over the past few days because a lot of people they're confused. They're like, which timeline do I take? Why does it feel like I'm grieving something? Old timelines are dying. What's new? What's next? How do I know what's coming in? And they're saying, don't worry about it. Like all timelines will merge into one. You just need to trust and navigate into your authentic self, and that'll put you on your authentic path. And everything will clean up. Everything will almost like consolidate and merge together. I keep getting that everything's going to merge like from September, October, like sometime in the fall, between September and Thanksgiving in the US. I keep getting that timelines will merge and you will have the most clarity of your life around that time. Like about your life path, your life purpose, who you're supposed to be with. It will all be becoming clear at that time. This deck is so big and my hands are so small. I don't mean big like tall. I mean like it's just so, there's so many cards in it. So thick. I can barely wrap my hands around it. Yeah, so all timelines merging into one is kind of, for me, when I say that to myself, it feels very reassuring. I don't know if that reassures any of you, but this card wants to come out for us. It's the Fortune's Wheel. So this is like the Wheel of Fortune. It's a 10. That's what they're saying. That's why they're trying to say this is where there's completion, fulfillment. We're going to kind of know how it all turns out. And we're going to know exactly where we're going come the fall months in the US. I love that. So this deck seems like it's ready to go for us. So let's go here. Let's see how we could do this so you can see. I guess I'll just go like this. Okay, so Fortune's Wheel. I'm going to move this a little closer. Okay, so we have the 4 of Fire. You can see she's sitting here playing her flute and she is illuminated, but I also feel like she is illuminating, herself through her gifts and just playing her song. And this is, I feel like this is like letting your gifts be heard and shining your light. It's also butterfly. It's spreading your wings and taking those first steps after the metamorphosis in an action capacity, like in a way where we're like showing ourselves and doing. Yeah, they just told me I'm going to have more clarity on this card like as I go along, so I'll go back to that again. Okay, so the Justice card, which is 11. This is where we're having grievances of the past. Like, I don't like how the past is gone. That person hurt me. That wasn't right. How could I go back to that? This feels like the closure that's coming, or some sort of an apology, to help things find balance. I get the sense that this is an apology. Okay, so there's an apology coming for some of you. I don't know who it's from. Could be your twin flame. It could be a karmic partner. Someone's coming through to help kind of balance any of these grievances that you're having from within, that there was like an injustice, or that you were done wrong, or that you were, treated poorly. And this is a result of you learning how to love yourself better. Like the fact that this is healing. There's a healing. There's definitely a healing coming. Like I said, there's an apology coming forth for some of you. Okay. Page of Water. So it's like the Page of Cups. This is a, I really do feel like this is related to the masculine. I feel like it's so funny too, because there's pink lotuses. And this morning I pulled out like a decorative basket that I have something stored in. And I saw I have this pink lotus candle holder. And I saw it, and it's funny because long ago I used to put intention into it about, I don't know why, it just always reminded me of like having children. And there it was in this bin. This morning I saw it. I was like, I didn't even know I still had that. And it was all bubble wrapped and everything. And I saw it and I was like, I wonder why that's sticking out in my mind. But see, here we go. This is like I feel like there is fertility that the masculine's thinking of, and maybe not in a literal sense, but it's like what he wants to create. And there's a maturity, more of an emotional maturity coming through, harnessing his feminine energy. And really, like, this is where he comes up from that dive deep into himself. Again, it's not a dark night. It's just like a self-exploration. And I feel like it does lead to this more romantic heart space. It leads to the creation of something new. And it does lead into the joining up with someone. I feel like a romantic partner, like the readiness for that. Definitely the readiness. So I guess I'll keep stacking. I'm going to move these over a little bit so you guys can see. Okay. It also could be that it's the masculine coming forth with an apology because he's doing this emotional maturation and it's coming up from the dive deep. I see this as, this is a girl that's coming up with, her fin in the water, and she's above water now. There's a connection to the ethereal and the here and now, but also what's below the surface. It's the consolidation of that, the reconciliation of it. That's what the masculine's been working on, so is working on right now, I feel. Whoa. And obviously this just flew out, so the Empress. And this is what the feminine is working on. She's really, really coming into her power. You guys that I work with in soul coaching, holy shit, my God, these past few weeks have been like, oh my God, like so incredible to witness. You guys are all amazing. Like the work that you're doing, I don't think you're giving yourself enough credit, but I have just been seeing breakthrough after breakthrough and feeling these emotional blocks released for so many of you, watching it, witnessing it. Like I'm so honored to be a part of that with all of you. And I know it's giving way for you to come all the way into your power, which is so exciting. And this is a 3 card, and I do have to say that I have felt that very much. Like this summer is going to be huge. Like the next 3 months, really, especially for the feminine, because there's they're saying you're directing it. You're doing things, you're orchestrating things. It's like someone who would be planning an event, like that's how they're showing it to me, like pointing their finger, like put that here, put that there. You know, like the vision is steady and you know where you're putting things, and you're surprising yourself. You're going, wow, I didn't know I have this much power. I didn't know I had this. I didn't know I had all this power and this, I'm so capable. And yeah, there's going to be a lot of validation of that with the feminine in her power. So trust yourself and don't be afraid to step up, like to step up into your power in its truest sense. You know, shedding those false masculine templates so that you can really lead from your feminine. Okay. So in reverse, we have transformation and patience. Don't you guys love that? So let's look at these upright just so we can see the beautiful images. So those of you who have been wanting it to speed up, it's going to, but they're saying like this whole transformation process, like it requires patience, and things are about to speed up. But even in some instances, you might still need this is still an unfolding. Remember that, especially for twin flames. I feel like twin flames, you won't have a lot of your answers, and we won't see a lot of these unions for, like, again, we're seeing the 3 and the 4. That's 1, 3, 1, 4. And I feel like 3 or 4 months from now is when we really get more of the clarity and get that sense of completion where we're headed, and really like can see where the new life leads and what that looks like. Right now it's just it's just crystallizing, and so many surprises are on their way, and unexpected turns and twists, and you know, manifesting better than you expected. It's like just hold tight, sit tight for that unfolding. It's an unfolding over the next 3 or 4 months. Trust it. Let things just unfold and be shown to you while you're taking action and shining your light and doing your part to cultivate the new reality. So I love that. And here's my Stella Bella coming into our reading. She's curious. She's on the floor, looking around, sniffing around. Okay, so the 6 of fire and the 8 of fire in reverse. So this is the taking off point. Okay. They're saying it took a lot to get that ship off the ground. You know, it's taken a lot. You have felt the work in that. How do you lift a ship into the air? But they're saying stop focusing on the how. It's the magic. It's just the belief. It's the faith. It's the belief. And this is where, if we keep that trust, you know, belief and all the magic suspended in doubt and resistance, this ship will stay grounded, or it'll stay in the, you know, in the ocean. It's not going to lift off and float into the air. And, you know, you have helpers around you too, I feel. And that's a reminder that you are not in this alone. You've got to lean on this higher guidance. This is why we're having this reading right now, because they're trying to remind us that. The 8 of fire in reverse. So we see the panda and these luminaries and the bamboo. So I feel like this is like the trusting in the navigation of when we set forth, when we take the action, when things start to illuminate. It's like don't keep going. Don't buck up the energy. Like, don't buck the energy. Like, don't pull back the reins. Don't, just keep going. It's falling into place. Like this bamboo, I don't know if you guys can see, it reminds me of that house that I drew with all the wood slats. You know, like, I don't know why I was drawing thin wood lines like that, but bamboo is wood. And I feel like this is perhaps that resurrection, like that old tree that's been chopped down is resurrecting the new. And this is like us navigating into that new life. They're saying, trust it, trust it, trust it. Keep going, keep taking the action, keep following your vision. Okay, so a lot of this is about like suspending our disbelief, getting rid of the doubt, trusting as we take action steps, just trusting, not needing to know the how or the exactly where we're ending up, but just really allowing ourselves to trust in the magic and allow it to be shown to us. One more card from this deck. Here we go. It's the Two of Water. So this is like the Two of Cups. This is this is either a new relationship or it's a new start to your twin flame relationship. And this feels like two individuated whole fishies swimming in harmony, not needing to be totally connected near one another, creating that life, balance. There's a balance here. Feels like very, very balanced masculine and feminine energy from within each. And this is what this card represents as well, but it feels like harmonization. You look at this card, you get a sense of peace and harmony and balance, and that's what's coming in for relationships. That's why we're going through all this muck and yuck, and where the imbalance has to be balanced out, and we have to dive deep into the water to come up and create the new life, and we have to keep creating the song of our soul and focusing on our individual song so that we can shine our light in its truth, be in our power, and then we'll see where things lead. That will be shown to us. So many of you think like, well, because I haven't known where it's going, I won't know. You will. Keep going. You will know. You will know. It will be shown to you. And I feel like the waiting period isn't much longer. So like, don't give up now. Don't throw in the towel. They're saying this transformation has been trust the process. Enjoy the process. It's required patience. You're still going to need to have patience in this is a next phase. This is a very different phase than what we've been in. And it is a rapid unfolding. So trust in it. The bottom of the deck is the Magician. So this is it. They are singing. I have such goosebumps. Look at my hair. This is me leaning against the table, but my hair is standing up. Okay, this is just saying like you create it. It's up to you. You're the magician. You get to decide. You create the new beginning. This is about having faith and belief and trusting it. Okay? Trusting in your own power. Let's go to, I guess my hands just went to this, so let's go to the Ascension deck, pull some advice cards from the higher beings. I love that the Magician was just there waiting for us underneath. It's all up to you. What do I keep saying? The magic, the magic, the magic. It's in your hands. I keep saying it. Even in those recent videos, thought form. You think it, it's going to be in physical form. And that could be your fears, or it could be your greatest wishes and desires. Okay, Lady Nada. So she's coming up in reverse. She came up in reverse. Lady Nada is the twin flame of Jesus' higher self, Sananda. She's the master of the seventh ray of ritual and magic. Here we go. Just like how the rainbow light was coming in over the twin flames, this is what I feel like this is referring to. Ceremony, okay, she is the master of the seventh ray of ritual and magic. Ceremonies that call in mighty forces are important. So you are reminded to bring people together to raise great light. A priestess in the Temple of Love in Atlantis, Lady Nada is bringing back ancient healing methods, helping the development of intuition, telepathy, and wisdom, and acting for justice. Justice. Your guidance is to trust your spiritual and psychic abilities and to use them to help those in need. The affirmation is, I accept and practice my healing spiritual and psychic gifts. I feel like now, especially when we're creating this magic, you know, everything in this next phase, you need to rely on the signs, the synchronicities, your higher guidance, your trust in your gifts. Nothing, although you're navigating in a grounded sense, like you got your feet on the ground, nothing about this is, you are needing to acclimate to a new way of manifesting. And this is like thought form. It's not about planning it out, strategizing. It's not about that. She's reminding us, like, we need to rely on those gifts. That's how we're bringing in the magic. That's how we're bringing everything into life. For some of you, this is a big leap. You know that you can manifest in small ways like this, but still you have old programming in there that's holding you back from trusting this. And you're saying, wait, this doesn't feel familiar to me. This is not usually how I manifest. And they're saying, yeah, it's a hell of a lot easier. So it's not about effort. It's not about, time, energy. That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter when we manifest. Effort? What's effort? Does it take focus on knowing what you want? Yeah. Does it take vision? Yeah. Does it take trust? Yeah. But does it take effort? No, it doesn't. That's not manifestation. Manifestation can happen like that. Remember when they said, you take down that old tree in the forest, you chop it up, make new wood. All of a sudden, it's not like there's a lag time or a wait time. You can have your tree resurrected in 2 seconds later. It's just a matter of your shift in perspective. Do you want to put that up right now? Are you ready for that whole new life? Or are you blocking yourself? So that's a really important card. Oh, and here's our Zoe. She's at my feet now. So we've got little kitty spirits coming into this reading. All curious. What's Mama doing? What's Mama doing? Okay. Let's see what else this deck has to say to us. Hilarion in reverse too. It's funny though, after all that shuffling, these are 45 and 46 cards. So 9 and 10. Hilarion is from Saturn, and I just got a low battery message. I don't know if you guys saw this card pop out, but we have Hilarion, which is Lady Nada was 45 and Hilarion is 46. Even after all that shuffling, they came out sort of in sequence. So this is saying Hilarion is from Saturn. It steps down his energy through the Temple of Truth over Crete. He is a negotiator for Earth on the Council of Saturn and helps us remain connected to our spiritual journey. A master of the orange fifth ray of technology, science, truth, and knowledge, he invites you to open your mind so that he can drop seeds for new ideas into your consciousness. He assists those who are ready to become higher channels and clairvoyants. Your guidance is to sit quietly and ask him to help you be all that you can be. So open up yourself to the wisdom of Hilarion. This is also about any ideas that you're having that are coming into your consciousness, anything that you're being shown that is being re-illuminated, ideas you've had in the past. Might be time to act on them, especially if it involves like if you're creating something and it involves channeling the ideas or channeling the work, channeling the art, channeling, like he's going to help you with that so you can work with Hilarion. And, excuse me, the bottom of the deck is the Intergalactic Council. So they're talking about 12 great masters that make decisions for the highest good of the universe. This council includes Hilarion, Marco, Jesus, Ashtar, Cthulhu, El Moira, Paul the Venetian, Saint Germain, Kuan Yin, Lady Nada, right? Serapis Bey, and Lord Maitreya. Saying or thinking their names raises your frequency. Recognize you're a multidimensional being and connect with your deepest wisdom and focus on the well-being of the universe. Your guidance is to ask Angel Buchialil to take you to the Intergalactic Council in meditation or sleep and offer to serve the universe. This will greatly expand your consciousness. This is a 29 card, which is 11. I feel like, Lady Nada and Hilarion were in here not by coincidence. This is a huge deck. It's not like this, this is no coincidence that this one card named out 2 of these out of 12. So, these are the 2 that I feel like we need to call out to at this time in terms of our psychic gifts, in terms of trusting, in terms of bringing ideas to fruition, and clairvoyance, channeling, ideas, consciousness, bringing things into reality, magic, relying on our clair gifts. So that's a huge message. Let's just pull a few from the Archangels and Ascended Masters deck. See what the Archangels directly have to say to us. Who's over us right now? And what's the message for the collective from the Archangels? Leadership and victory, but victory's coming up in reverse, and it's like, don't doubt that the victory's on its way, you guys. This is what I was talking about with the Empress. Remember I said the feminine would be, this could even be the masculine's divine feminine energy, is orchestrating things. Here, this goes here, that goes there. Wow, I didn't know I could do all this. I didn't know I could orchestrate this big picture and be a leader. Archangel Gabriel is saying it's time for you to assume your leadership power, position, and lovingly guide others. So this is time to step up and help others. Step into your power. Don't be afraid of it. And they're saying, Archangel Sandalphon is saying your prayers have been heard, and have faith. Like, success is coming. Victory's coming. This is where we're needing the patience and this transformation. But there's also, I think, quite a bit of action type energy, showing yourself, stepping forth as the leader, showing your abilities, showing your power, not in a forceful way, in a nice, harnessed, divine feminine energy. And that is going to bring about all these positive results. And then the bottom of this deck is Hello from Heaven. Archangel Azrael, your loved ones in heaven are doing fine. Let go of worries and feel their loving blessings. This is where I feel like we're not trusting that we have help around us. Remember I said, like, how am I going to lift this off the ground? How am I going to get everything going and in the air and off the ground? And they're saying, you have help. It might be unseen, but you definitely have help from your angels and from the higher beings that are assisting the shift in consciousness. So trust. And from the Ascended Masters deck, look, I just split to shuffle. Trust, Vishnu. Trust, trust, trust. Okay, let it go. Kuan Yin. And this was also mentioned, Kuan Yin was mentioned in the Intergalactic Council. So we have yet another. Now we have 3 of these 12 who have come forth for us with messages. This Kuan Yin is trying to say, let go of that old tree, those grievances or injustices, make room for the healing, and get ready to shine, and for some of you, with just the intention of wanting to go forward and wanting to leave the past behind, the past, I feel like, will get resolved. There will be unexpected closure, a higher level of healing, but it takes you shifting towards the future vision and just saying, yeah, I want to let all of that go. She's reminding us that in order for all the new to pop up, manifest, and be shown to us, we have to let go of what doesn't serve us. And this is really about also, like I've been saying, is like leading and leaning in with our divine feminine energy. This is how we're leading. This is how we're orchestrating. This is the masculine, leading. Kuan Yin is, she represents that expression of the divine feminine. And this is the masculine learning how to do that in balance, showing more of his heart, being more vulnerable, leading with, showing yourself, showing your project, showing your ideas. I get that sense too, like showing what you can do, people not knowing that you maybe have certain gifts and you showing it and shining. That's all in the cards for us. And oh my goodness. So here's another one. Now we have 4 of the Intergalactic Council who have shown, and believe me, you guys, look at all these cards. It's not a coincidence that all of the Intergalactic Council is showing up for us. So the 1/3 of the Intergalactic Council just showed up for us. Cthulhu was just mentioned right here. So here he is again. Okay. So he's reminding us to stay focused on what we want. Remember, that's the key to manifestation. It's not effort. It's not hard work. It's not struggle. It's just focus. It's just staying focused on our project, staying focused on the future, I feel, really the new life. Don't keep your focus on the past. If you're focusing on the past, try over the next few days to let that go before this new moon. Okay? All right, so I'll leave you guys with that. I hope it's helpful, and I'm sending love to you all, and I hope that you enjoyed that. I'll see you soon. If anyone wants to work with me, you can check out my services on spiritualmaterialgirl.com. You guys don't forget to check out my retreat. It's happening September 20th through the 22nd in the Northeast. Very affordable. It's an ascension retreat. It's going to be in an amazing outdoor setting, but with all of the bells and whistles of a nice little luxury weekend. You will really enjoy it. I have an amazing itinerary planned for us. Please check it out. I really feel like it's doable for a lot of you, and I would love nothing more than to meet you guys in person, to have the opportunity to gather with you and hug you and love you and teach you in person. So hope you can make it. Love you guys. See you soon.